All right, so we have our new interview slides and interview questions and stuff all prepared, and this is basically the overview for all of our membership committees to have a look at and see what it is that we're doing with these interview slides and why. Now, first of all, this is one that we're kind of launching and throwing out to the all the chapters in the region as a uniform one way of doing the slides. Now, you're going to see some questions that are similar and very much to what you've already got in place, maybe some new ones, maybe a little bit more than what you're used to, but the reason being is we're using the interview process for A, accountability, and B, to teach our new members, even on the way in, some of the things that we're doing and understanding why we do it. And so we're going to just go through the actual interview. We've got our interviewee. That's going to be Deli. Say hi, Deli.
Hey, hello.
Deli's going to be our new member that's being interviewed, and we have other members here that are going to be participating. Reason being is, of course, as a membership committee, you should always have at least two people in. And Vicky, she's going to be the other person on the membership committee who is there to be part of the interview process as well. Now, in this, we're going to go through the slides. At the end of the slides, when everything's done, you'll see we're going to explain to the person being interviewed what's going to be taking place after the fact. And yeah, anyway, let's just kind of do this, and you'll see exactly why and what we're doing. So all the slides do have notations with them too, so you can read through all the notations. So it's a nice thing. All right, so Deli, welcome. Great. Thank you so much for applying to our chapter here. Just before we get into the all the different things, I'd love to just verify exactly what seat it is and what in your company name, just to make sure that we've got you down as applying for the correct seat.
All right. My company name is Thermacon Consulting,
Awesome.
and I'm applying for the business coach seat
Business.
in your chapter.
Awesome. Thank you. That's perfect because, of course, that seat is open. So we're just going to ask you a bunch of questions and kind of, find out a little bit more about you and see how that might be a great fit for you in our chapter and for, our chapter to you. So we're just kind of looking here. Is this business your primary occupation?
Yes, it is my primary occupation.
Awesome.
And I will say I spend about 25 to 30 hours a week on the
25,
bit.
30 hours. Not too bad. Not too bad. Now, the reason we asked that question, Dali, is just because, statistically, part-time businesses are less likely to be able to commit to, the BNI power of one, the things that we really are held accountable toward, and the things that we, say that we're going to do and help with other members. So we kind of want to make sure that, you've got that business thing, and of course, see what it is that you do and how much you do. That's awesome. Thank you. Now, do you own or operate any other businesses?
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
awesome.
But
What would that be?
again, that's yes. I'll leave it at that. I do.
You do.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing what that is exactly?
Okay. So, and I'm going to leave BNI out of this. So,
Sure.
we also operate the rental business.
Oh,
Side again, we do that anytime, mostly evenings, so it does not require full-time attention.
nice. So when you say rental, are you talking like property, or you're talking like tools, or what is it you rent?
Oh, yes, property rental. So we
Okay.
have about 5 units in around the city.
Oh, okay. Like an Airbnb type thing? Is that
Yes, yes.
excellent? Okay. And the only reason that we ask that is, first of all, on the BNI side, we'd like to see, do you have a divided focus in what you do? So thank you for kind of acknowledging the time frames you put in. And plus, like how many hours a week you just say? Just evenings, just a few hours type thing?
Oh, yeah, I will say as far as a week is concerned, maybe 5 hours a week.
Oh, nice.
Not
Awesome.
a big deal.
So the reason we asked is just for the commitment level, make sure that you've got the time to be able to manage the things that we hold ourselves accountable to. Plus, make sure there's no seat overlap. So thank you so much. That's good.
No,
Would you be looking for BNI as a form of recruiting?
absolutely not.
Perfect. That's question, of course, is asked because if you belong or a person applying belongs to a multi-level marketing type organization, often part of their goals are to recruit people into their business. We don't look at that as being a very a great thing for a future thing for an applicant. As not to say they can't be a member, but we want to make sure that they're focusing on what they're selling versus recruiting, because that's not something that we really really welcome. Okay, so this one's just really curious. I'd love to hear more about you and your business and what you're looking at as far as growth, say in the short term, like 1 year, and then long term, the 3 to 5 year plan. What are your business goals?
Hmm, excellent. So At this time, my business goal, I'm ramping up the coaching business. And so the goal for the next 1 year is to have, 10, ongoing clients, very steady clients
Awesome.
and rotate or revolve, around between 6 months and 1 year contract
Mm,
and ensuring that I have that number of clients,
mhm.
constantly as they rotate through
Nice.
the year. And as far as 3 to 5 years, I want to build this and have associate coaches
Mhm.
in the 3 to 5 year mark, and then just move into retirement at that point. Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's a
Yeah.
good long-term plan. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the reason that we asked this question here is really to really help identify, or first of all, make sure that we see that the applicant is looking and focusing on their growth in their company, and identify any potential strengths and red flags. Example, like if you're about to go out of business, this is a last ditch effort type idea. This may not be the best thing because as we know, BNI takes some commitment and some work towards things. But to see that you have those long-term plans is awesome. One thing I should add for our membership committee is, and the other thing that the other membership committee member would be doing in this case is we have a fillable form that you'll be using that they'll be filling these answers out with too. So you have that for your records, right?
Good.
You're doing that, right, Vicky? Just nod. There you go. Even though her hands are clenched, she's typing this away. No, awesome. What would your ability to accommodate significant growth in your business be?
Yeah, as mentioned in answer to the previous question, I am looking for growth, and because of this is my focus.
Mhm.
As far as I'm concerned right now, I have capacity to accommodate the number of clients that that I have highlighted,
Mhm.
and also understanding that there is potential for growth beyond that. I have connection with other business coaches
Excellent.
who I work with, very well. And, we learn together. And I know that any expansion beyond my capacity can be accommodated or absorbed by those coaches. So,
Beautiful. Thank you. Now, the
hmm,
reason we ask this question is because sometimes you'll have members that join and they'll be great members. And I can use an example actually. I'm going to experience that I know of where a mechanic joined a chapter and did so well and got so overwhelmed. They were suddenly in a point where they had to leave the chapter because they had too much business. And we like to make sure that we got something that we're be able to work together on a long-term basis. So thank you.
very good.
Why is it that you do what you do? I would love to hear, where you kind of stand there.
Wow. That is the question for the ages.
Isn't
Why
it?
do I do what I do? One of what I would call a passion for me is understanding that there is so much potential that is innate in every individual, every human being, and of course, when we start talking of professionals,
Mhm.
to grow and the desire to achieve that potential really creates so much power within individuals. And when, in a sense, I am part of that process that enables an individual to move from point A to point B where they want to go.
Mhm.
I feel so accomplished, and especially when you see the light come on, or the excitement that people express as a result of just breaking through, the whatever obstacle they may have in their life or in their business.
Hmm.
Also, when you think about that, and the stats about small business failure in our region, all over the world actually, but specifically in our geographical, area,
Mhm.
it's alarming. And especially when you think those are not just business failures. Those are in many cases crushing a desire, an
Mhm.
aspiration of some, a dream in individuals. And so by helping small business owners to uh, just get beyond that
Yeah.
really critical point in their business, I feel I am contributing significantly to somebody's dreams and aspiration. So Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Now, the reason this ask this question is, to see what your focuses are, see what kind of thing that you're really trying to, I guess, gear your business towards, and where you come across personally. And the reason that of course, how so the membership committee can really see how that cultural fit works. Whether you're focused mainly on making money or helping out others solving a problem, plus how you maybe connect with the seven core values in BNI. So, thank you.
Very good.
Why is it that you decided to apply to BNI and specifically our chapter?
Okay. Well, I visited the chapter, and definitely the the camaraderie within the chapter, the fact that there is accountability, people bringing in their contribution to the chapter and really publicly announcing that, I find it attractive. But in the first place, why even BNI?
Yeah.
Um, I'm I am an introvert, and networking is not my first, you know, thing to think about when just thinking about what to do. So
Mhm.
I need some kind of a structured, program system to help me, to force me into networking because I know I need it. And so BNI kind of fits that very, very well. And again, as I mentioned, what I saw in the chapter, I feel that it really will fulfill what I'm looking for in a networking group.
Excellent. Thank you. That question, of course, very kind of looking to see what kind of value you can potentially bring, that Brittany and I can bring to you, and vice versa, back and forth, and gives us a way to see a little bit insight into our chapter that way. So, thank you.
Good.
What would you say are the strengths specifically that you would then bring to BNI in our chapter?
Hmm. Strengths.
Mhm.
Interesting. Well, one of those will be I really love systematic approach to anything, and so when it comes to networking, I don't want to just go out there and just, spray and pray, but I really want if I see a system that I believe in, I
Mhm.
work the system. I make sure that I, stick to the system, and so knowing that this system is there, I have the confidence to invite people into it because I know it works.
Mhm.
And so that's one of the contributions I will bring to BNI is that I will invite with confidence because I know that the system works. And of course, the power of one that I've heard of, again, that creates that create for me a system within the system to know that, okay, if I do this and this, I know I should be successful. Again, that gives me confidence to invite, and also something to use as a tool for my own success.
Very cool. Now this question, of course, is the beginning part of or I guess the first part of the giver's gain is why we asked
Mm,
this question. And the idea is to actually put it first to let applicants know that, hey, what is it you're willing to bring? What is it you're willing to give in this,
mm,
And it also, and you actually use the word work, and I love that. It
mm,
helps the applicant to see that they need to work within the chapter as part of the commitment and members for that success. So I love that. And that's where we start. Of course, the second part then goes into the gain, and that is what would you expect to receive then from
mm.
BNI in our chapter?
Right. Well, in general, or broadly speaking, obviously I want to grow my business. So I expect that eventually I will receive referrals to quality people, and that will eventually become my clients. That's the general expectation. But going into it, I also do understand it takes time. So I intend to, after a few weeks of understanding how the system works, I intend to set a goal that I feel, that I can monitor, measure and monitor, how, my progress towards that goal.
Mhm.
So again, in answering that question broadly, I expect that I will gain, clients as a result of this, but also I want to be very specific about, how many and how long as soon as I understand how the system works.
Very good. Thank you.
Mhm.
And that, of course, does allow the membership committee to see, okay, do you have reasonable expectations of what you're going to get
Right.
from it too? And the more that they can refine that, the better. But
Mhm.
leave that up to the membership committees to see how far they want to go there. Now,
Mhm.
our chapter, just so you know, and what we do in this one, and this one we can just leave as a general question, of course. But this is the opportunity to explain and make sure that the applicant understands that the date, time, and
Mhm.
location of
Yeah.
where the applicant meet or where the chapter meets. Now, what kind of like to say is, is that time frame, is that something that's reasonable for you, and can you attend every week?
Yes, the time, that I attended the chapter meeting, when I visited, absolutely, that's a good time for me. Yes.
Perfect. Now, here's
Yeah.
a fun question for you because we have a little fun now, but kind of got a serious answer. In that, I like to explain to you that I guess that 100% is the ideal that we look for. So, if I said, what percent is of the weekly meetings would you like to endeavor to attend? That is, what is your goal? And there's a good question for you: is how
Mhm.
many of those, percentage wise of those meetings would you be wanting to attend?
Hmm. So this chapter is what you call the hybrid. So you have some in-person meetings and then um, virtual meetings, online meetings. With that structure, I see myself attending probably 95%, of the meetings. Now, if it had been all in-person meetings, I would have, be hesitant. I would have thought maybe 90%, maybe, between 80 and 90%. But because I do travel sometimes, but
Gotcha.
with the online, yes, I should be able to attend more than 95% of the meetings.
Okay, interesting. And part of the thing is, we ideally the best thing to shoot for is 100%. We
Mm,
realize you're not going to get there 100% of the time because things happen, as you mentioned, travel, so on and so forth. But basically, the idea is that the more you're there, the more you're going to be getting to know people, building those relationships. They're going to be able to help bring referrals to you, and you're going to learn more about them because you're there more often. So you're going to be able to give them more referrals. Now,
mm,
statistically, the idea is if, people who aim for 100%, they're generally going to hit 90, 95%. But if you start aiming for less, the odds are you're going to hit much less. So we really do
mm.
encourage, try to be there as often as you can. Now,
Okay.
in that, I'd like to explain our BNI attendance policy because we do have a policy for situations like this where you're allowed up to 3 absences within a rolling 6-month period. Now, that said, you're encouraged to have a substitute there if you're unable to attend a meeting. So,
Right.
if you have a substitute, right, then you're not considered absent. Now,
Okay.
a substitute doesn't have to be from your office. It doesn't have to be, anyone there, but it can be anyone who's willing to attend a meeting in your place and speak on
Mm,
your behalf, which means it could be relative client, for example. Um,
mm.
and they would then just do the same things that you do each meeting. They'd say your quick, weekly introduction, and they'd also share any closed business and referrals that you may have. Do you have any questions about this attendance policy?
No,
Nope.
actually, it's very clear. Thank you.
Perfect. And are you willing to commit to this?
Yes, I will
Awesome.
do that.
Confirmation. Just want to make sure we got that. Yes. Okay. Now, if you can't attend, okay, we just want to confirm that maybe you have some people in mind.
Mm,
Would you, it's the idea is to really emphasize here in this question the importance of attendance and a really
right.
good opportunity to re-explain the
Mm,
what a good substitute is. I'll
right.
explain, for instance, that the best substitute I ever had was
Mm,
actually a client because
mm,
instead of doing my weekly introduction, they said how great we did it worked with them and how they've been working with us for so many
mm.
years. So that
Yeah.
could be good. Um,
Yes.
are you able to have a substitute?
Yes, right now a couple of people come to mind. Have not talked to them about it, but there is one client and then another fellow coach. So
Excellent.
it's like two that come to mind.
Excellent, because it's also a great opportunity then to introduce people to BNI that you see that can maybe benefit from. So that's great.
Yes.
All
Good.
right. Now, annually, our chapter holds a special event that focuses on increasing referrals for our members. Now, that right now, at this point, our region started something newer. We're doing this during International Networking Week, which is the first week of February. And it's an opportunity to, like, what we do is we, invite people to come and attend and see what an amazing kind of system we have. Is that something that you would be willing to send invitations to help
Absolutely.
with the
Yes.
benefit?
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Now, they're intended to help the chapter grow. And of course, the reason, some people think, well, why do you want people there? Well, the bigger a chapter is, the more circles that we get connected to as business owners. So that
Right.
helps our businesses grow and helps us, to help each other too. So, and on the
Mm.
side thing, that is a mandatory thing. And this is for membership committees for any maybe launch or newer chapters. This is a mandatory thing for as you get to the, from charter to your launch period of 25, where we have big visitor days to get you to that point. But is that you said you're absolutely ready for that, and we're going to make that as
Yes.
how's that?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Awesome. Now, is a license required or for what you do in your business?
No, the short answer to that is no.
Okay,
Now, there's obviously some certification which I already have through, educational program.
nice,
There are optional credentialing. Again, it's not required to be a coach, but it helps, and I'm pursuing that.
excellent. Are you bonded and insured?
I am insured,
Excellent.
yes.
Okay. Now, the reason this question is there is really simple because sometimes, there are different seats or industries where having that qualification or that education is essential, and you do have to be licensed there. So you want to make sure, an example might be people in different, say plumbing and that. You don't want just Joe whoever coming in and doing your plumbing. And this is because if we're going to be insuring, we want to make sure, or sorry, referring, want to make sure that you are covered in what you're supposed to be.
Right.
You said you're covered, and that's awesome. Have you ever applied to another BNI chapter and at all?
No,
No?
no,
Awesome.
thank you.
Now we ask that really simply, and that is to see what their experience is like. We know that some people have, great experiences in BNI and they talk about it all over the place. That'd be me. Then you've got people who haven't had the greatest experience. So we'd like to see, what that experience was and maybe speak to it so we can help dispel maybe any fears or concerns they have.
Mm.
Do you belong to any other networking organizations?
I have to think about that. Do I belong to any
When I
other?
say that, that's more membership, not just attending networking events.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, I do. Yes,
Okay. So
to
what's
the
that experience like? What kind of networking organization is that?
well, what for example, this is I belong to the Calgary Chamber of Commerce,
Oh, excellent.
and that's in I mean, it's there. You can attend their program whenever you wish. There is nothing really that is um what is it that is that structured
Hmm.
or or exclusive for that matter
Right, right.
about it. And so yeah, that's
Oh no,
you
that's
know
awesome. I'll tell you right now, BNI, we encourage networking. Obviously that's the basis for what we do. And of course, this question is to help us understand that how the applicant might be as far as the ability and knowledge of networking, and
mm,
potentially find out ways that our chapter can even improve on some things too, and see how we can work with you. Now, in that, I'd like to explain or see if you understand the BNI policy of not belonging to other hard contact networks. Are you aware of this at all?
well, now I am.
Well, that's perfect. Let me explain it to you. It's really, really simple. And the only thing is, we do not allow members to be part of other networking organizations that also focus on having one industry per chapter or per organization or group, and focus on bringing referrals to members. And basic reason is you don't want to divide because that's really not fair to either organization. And is that do you understand that? It makes sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Awesome.
And I am willing to abide by that.
That's awesome. Thank you. Now, all new members are required to attend what we have called our MSP or Member Success Program within the first 60 days of membership. Now, this training can be found online. We have an online training system called BNI Business Builder, and that gives you access. As soon as you're a member, you become a member, you have access immediately. You can take that at your own time online and get that done. And would you agree to take that training within the first 60 days of your membership?
Absolutely. I will love to take it.
Awesome. Now, we also have a system called Passport to Success Mentor Program. And what this is a kind of get you to meet with the members of the chapter to learn bits about their roles and stuff. Now, things as far as what different roles within the chapter and how we run our chapter, and get you to kind of just ingrained to understand how BNI works and how our chapter works. Is this something that, and I guess you'd be working with our mentor in the chapter who would help you along this. Now, are you willing to take time outside of the weekly meetings to conduct these meetings, or one-to-ones, we call them, with fellow members to as a part of your business building activity?
So you said it is to enable me understand, how the system works, how the chapter works,
Correct.
and the different roles. Can't I, can I just read about it somewhere?
That's a
And
really good question. No, I love that. Thank you. Yes, we have kind of outlines and things like that that are available as well. However, we do really encourage, developing those relationships, and really that gives you the opportunity to ask questions as well.
Hmm, okay, I get it. Now, I mean, yes, if it's going to help develop relationships, that's good. Thank you. I'll
Perfect.
do.
Thank you. Now, in the next 6 to 12 months, I can tell you right now, you will be asked to take on a leadership position, which would involve one of these roles that you just put and learned about in our last question. Are you willing to consider which role might be an appropriate one for you to step into at that time?
Hmm. Yes, I will be willing to consider. And will I have a choice of a role, or will I just be asked to take one role?
I'm going to say yes to that question, and thank you for that. Now, really, the reason that we do that, right, is, and I can't help emphasize enough that we commit to working together for each other, and it's part of running our chapter, just like we run our business. So sometimes some people may see some strengths in you that may say, "Hey, they'd be good in this role that you don't even see yourself." But of course, we do want to take your kind of your lead on that and see where you're interested and see how we can accommodate as well.
Very good.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, I'm willing to.
Perfect. Now, are you aware that this chapter may have additional dues, okay, that we pay aside of the BNI membership? Now, these might include chapter dues, which are required to pay costs such as, our other little internal things such as, let me see here, chapter internal admin fees, cost of our Zoom account, stuff like that, venue or meal fees. So of course, when we meet in person, there's going to be a place that we have to meet at, and we have our meals and stuff. There
Mhm.
may be fees for additional chapter social events, and maybe even regional events such as networking mixers or our annual celebration gala. Now, these aren't necessarily, those last ones aren't mandatory. Some of the other ones, like our meal fees, would be. Just want to make sure that you're aware of these things and not that it's not all covered by your membership.
Right. Yes. Just because I mean, considering what I paid in order to attend the in-person chapter meeting,
Right.
I can understand that. Yes, those fees will maybe things to be aware of.
That's perfect. Now, lastly, there, I want to ask you a question. This is a good time for you to be able to tell us a little bit and say, hey, if we had another business coach that may wanted to apply as well, why should we choose you to be selected for
Mm.
the seat in our chapter?
Hmm. That's a good question. Well, first of all, I feel that my um what is it? My strength is in commitment to a client. Yes, of course, I'm committed to my coaching business, but once I, you know, acquire a client, I have an unflinching commitment to that client. Their goal, their success is my goal. And I believe that, in any business, that's really what's necessary to create a reputation that both the clients, associates, and one's network will be proud of. And so I think if I'm allowed into this chapter, I want to be a member that fellow members will be proud of.
That's awesome. Thank you. Now, for the membership committees, the reason we ask that, it gives the client or the applicant the ability to brag a little bit about themselves. Really good observation, time to observe and see how confident they might be. And what they do and evaluate what they then bring to the chapter in that and how they're going to be appearing to your referrals. So, great one. Thank you.
All right.
Now we're almost there here, and this is like one of your final questions, actually. And you may have noticed on your applications that upon acceptance to BNI, fees are non-refundable without exception. Now, I will say right now, you haven't been accepted yet, but want to know, see if there's any part of the application review process that has made you become aware that maybe BNI doesn't fit for you, or do you have any reservations or other questions that maybe about the chapter or BNI?
Hmm. Um, I do not have any questions. I know that it does say there is application fee and then there's membership fee.
Correct.
And will those both be due upon acceptance, or is there some kind of staggered, payment?
Good question. And the admin fee is a one-time only. And yes, both do happen at upon acceptance. That doesn't happen and recur again. That just gets you into the system and gets you as a part of all the things on the administrative side. When it comes to membership, that is renewal on an annual basis. And the reason, of course, we asked this one, and this is a side of the what we'd be talking to our applicant about, is in fact, you could actually. It's maybe good to note that during the application, there are even 3 points where this is stated. And the reason we make sure that this is noted again in the interview is that some people miss this and want to make sure then that they've got that. And it's a really great opportunity also for them to ask more questions like Delhi just did as far as what that process is. So thank you.
You're
and,
welcome. One
and
last question on the fee.
oh yes,
This, I understand the one-time, application fee,
yes.
but the membership fee, is
Mhm.
that good for life annually, or is there a chance that it will increase?
Very good question. And yes, there are increases that happen, cost of living. It does happen almost on an annual basis at this point. So you can see that. But I haven't seen anything astronomical like doubling. So don't worry there.
Thank you.
No problem. And you know what? Since we're kind of reached the end here, I would like to just turn over Vicky. Did you have anything you'd like to maybe add as far as questions or anything? And for our membership committees who are watching this tutorial thing, this is a good opportunity for you to add specific questions that maybe your chapter would like to see in addition to the things that have been asked here. So, Vicky, did you have anything or?
I do. Delhi, I was
Hmm.
wondering if you participate in any kind of volunteer activities and what those might be.
All right. Yes, thank you for that question. Currently, I belong to, I'm a board member of two nonprofit organizations. One is
Hmm.
um, a province-wide organization. The other one is actually a Canada-wide organization. So I'm chair of the board. The other one, I'm a treasurer of the board. So I do, in that way, I'm contributing to the community, and I also belong to a local church, community in my area. So,
Wow. And Vicky,
And
why would you ask that question? Because that was a good one.
so for membership people conducting interviews,
Hmm.
personally, I believe that if they are currently volunteering for anything, whether it's shoveling the snow off their elderly neighbor's sidewalk,
mm,
to holding a position in a structured organization, um, you know, running a bowling league, whatever it is, it indicates to me that they have that giver's gain
Right.
personality.
Yeah, I also like about that too is it also gives you the opportunity to say, that they are involved in all these other things. Because to be real, sometimes people can overload themselves if they don't know how to say no. So you can see that side too.
The
yeah.
other side of that coin, though, Greg,
Yep.
is they have more opportunity for finding referrals for their
Oh,
Also true.
yes.
the
Very,
more
Fantastic.
people that they know and interact with.
yeah, very good call. Awesome. So, last wrap up the last few slides here. Basically, this is the opportunity to let you know that your application interview. Now, what we're going to be doing is discussing that as a membership committee, and if approved, you'll receive an email confirmation from the regional office along with a payment link, and you'll kind of be asked to pay immediately on approval. And that you can pay online. Now, once paid, then the chapter leadership then will be informed, and then you'll be officially a member. We will welcome you and have a bit of a welcome thing during one of our meetings. But and during that time, though, I'd encourage you to keep attending our meetings until you're informed what the membership committee has decided. Because let's be real, it's a great opportunity for you to build relationships in the chapter as we kind of go through our processes still. So please do keep coming to our meeting next week.
All right.
Uh, all
Thank you.
right. Now, at this point, I'd like you just to make a point of pointing out this link here. You can maybe even write this one down.
Okay.
bnisalberta.ca
Right.
slash BNI hyphen policies. That's right available within the menu in our website too. Just want to make sure that you go and take a look at those member policies and code of ethics because it's a really good time for you to, see exactly, in depth all the things that you are that we're a part of. Now, the membership committee can at this point too also visit that with the applicant if they'd like to do it. We realize that
Right.
we're trying to keep this to about a 30-minute application or process, but this is good. And do you commit to taking a look at these policies and code of ethics?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Then, Deli, I'd like to thank you very much for your time here. Vicky and I are going to stay on and kind of chat a little bit, and then we will bring this, like I said, to our membership committee, and you'll get a response shortly.
Excellent. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you for your time, Deli. Awesome.
Okay.
And that is the end of that interview process.